Ancient Korean silk painting get a mind-bending contemporary spin. The closer you look at Hun Kyu Kim's paintings, the more disquieting they become. At first glance, the South Korean artist's creations combine the cutesiness of Japanese anime with the allegorical storytelling of centuries-old Buddhist scrolls. Anthro- Anthropomorphic animals cut out endless narratives in colorful, cartoonish world. But the devil is almost literally in the details. Beleaguered catfish, sword wielding dogs, and armored rodents commit acts of violence, malice, and mischief. Their expressions contorted, their eyes bloodshot and yellow, their faces sometimes partly decomposed, at once amusing and grotesque. The works put a modern spin on the historical painting styles that Kim spent almost a decade mastering. I want to be a bridge between the past and the contemporary, he told CNN in Seoul, South Korea, where he recently showed almost a dozen new works at the city's inaugural Breezy Art Fair. One of the Kim's new paintings, too cool for shopping, depicts a chaotic mall. The 36-year-old is usually based in East London, where he spends up to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, working on his intricate art. But before leaving his home country to study at the UK's Royal College of Art 7 years ago, he underwent a traditional and highly technical education in Seoul National University's Oriental Painting Program. The course required him to pains, painstakingly reproduce Asian masterpieces and brushwork techniques from centuries past. My master was very strict. He didn't want me to experiment. Kim recalled. They really wanted me to follow their orders because it's almost a belief system or the strict structure that they want the next generation to inherit. During his studies, Kim found himself particularly drawn to silk paintings from the Goryeo dynasty, a time when Buddhism flourished on the Korean peninsula. Like Buddhist scrolls he was inspired by, his own detailed works are painted in thin, delicate lines using rich organic pigment. He too uses silk as his canvas, tracing images from paper sketches before bringing them to life with a tiny paintbrush. In the process, Kim takes the historical art form into present day, naming inspirations that range from Dutch Renaissance painter Hieronymus Bosch to Studio Ghibli co-founder Hayao Miyazaki. I was part of the generation that was influenced by anime, Kim said, referring to South Korea's decision to lift the long-standing ban on Japanese animation in the late 1990s, centering, centering his work around the basic theme, be it a location or type of animal he images, and then paint small stories that exist independently while was relating to one another. But instead of the depicting religious narratives like his ancient forebears, his microcosmic world are steeped in satire. Drowning, one of the most dozen of Kim's paintings displayed at the recent Felice Seoul Art Fair, The painter's latest work, shown as Fleet Soul via the Paris-based gallery High Art, all with iconoclastic swipe at the commercialism, social hierarchy, and the state authority. In fitting room and seven animal police talk on changing room occupied by the hairless rabbit, one of which appears to have been skinned, its pelt hanging from a nearby hook. Too cool for shopping depict a lawless, more conflict complete with the escalator sold the fight and the swarm of insects fought off with heavy artillery. Empty paintings of the broken hearted meanwhile takes the form of the labyrinthine art pair, not unlike the one in which the painting hung with the partition walls and the picture flames serving as porters to different but equally chaotic worlds, evolving perspectives. These new paintings, the most expensive of which sold around $60,000, are perhaps Kim's most complex to date, like Impossible Penrose Stairs, the paradoxical illusion of the ever climbing staircase. His art increasingly plays with the viewer's sense of perspective, existing on multiple planes at once. Kim's world fold into one another to unsettling effect. Three of the paintings he created for Frite Soul feature the word uncomfortable in their titles. Yet, having previously offered commentaries on current affairs, the painter says his new works are free from the politics in pieces from his early career. I used to think that art and politics were the same thing, and that by showing my work, I couldn't. I could talk about political issues, he said. Nowadays, I try not to talk much. Instead, I spread images in my paintings very randomly and destroyed any sense of where the start is and where the end is. I don't think I'm offering some kinds of lesson through my paintings, he added. Rather, I want to show images that are against the logical thought. Uncomfortable artist residency plays with the viewer's sense of perspective. The politicization of Kim's work stems in part from his dismay at recent events in South Korea and around the world, he said, citing Russia's invasion of Ukraine as an example. I used to think our world was progressing in the right way, but observing the kind of historical tragedies, I think that sometimes it is not. I feel like I was wrong. I feel like I was building the huge castle, but it totally collapsed, and I'm trying to rebuild it again. His method have changed too. What was once meticulously planning the painting process is increasingly improvised, with the painter sometimes beginning in the middle of the picture and working outward. The result, however, are no less intricate, and Kim's work may now be more amenable to audiences in South Korea, where talking about political issues is still considered a kind of taboo, he said. Speaking on the eve of his Split Soul presentation, his first time showing a body of work in his home country, the painter expressed uncertainty about how his art would be received by his compatriot. There's a slight differences between the UK audience and the South Korean audience, but I think they are going to meet at the same point in the end.